First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today our coverage kicks off with a good one here between the Indianapolis Colts and the Detroit Lions. It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Off the play fake, Walker. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Some of the big boppers in the game traditionally have been safeties, and he certainly fits that mold. He lets his pads do his talking.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll drop to throw. That's complete to Pierce. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. 3rd and 7 now. Well, this defense for the Lions, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there. All the things that have gone on. And the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they'll be looking to make amends for that first drive, which came to a rather abrupt ending.
Certainly did, and I remember going back to my notes before this game, and
he's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Lions Lions have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Oh, this is blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also moved the sticks. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
They'll get this down to the 38. So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they've played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, and when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten, and they need to make sure they keep it in that order.
Now a dump off here complete. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good possession, 1st and 10. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Javon Hargrave in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got a man. It's complete to Jelani Woods. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And this one is right down the middle, and that will tie things up at 6-6. He might be being set up here for a busy ball game already. 2 kicks here in the 1st quarter, and he's knocked both through the posts.
And for now, you know they'll be happy getting those 3 points, but what they really want is to find a way for him to kick extra points instead of field goals.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Clock runs, less than a minute to go, and an entertaining first quarter of play. On second down, Swift. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20.
But Charles, this Thanksgiving tradition is so great. I mean, going back essentially through the full century of the NFL, I know you probably have a lot of fond memories of Thanksgiving Day football yourself.
I certainly do, and I don't have the Turkey Bowl tradition. You know, the families that go out and play and then come in and sit down to their feast and watch football. I remember reading remember the Lions jumping on the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. The only loss the Packers had in 1962, and they sacked Bart Starr over 10 times in that game. And I remember Dave Williams from the Bears returning the overtime kickoff for a touchdown to win a game on Thanksgiving Day. I remember so many different things happening. But how much fun is it each and every year to know that you've got football on Thanksgiving?
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. DeForest Buckner with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. All tied up, 6-6. Our score after one.
End of the first quarter with the score tied 6-6.
On fourth down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Again, it's Taylor.
It's a room to maneuver.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 67 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Touchdown, Colts! Jelani Woods. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Colts have broken our tie as they take the lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead.
Lions 6.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away.
And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much, don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard the talk, why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a traditionalist, but what do you have to say to that, CD?
I think it's a great argument, and the league could support it quite well, where you could move games to different spots and still be very successful on Thanksgiving Day, but you're exactly right. I am a traditionalist. I really don't want Detroit and Dallas to give up those slots. I like the fact that we watch them each and every year. But what I really like is that the league added a third game in 2006. And usually it's division rivals, but that's the third one of the day, and it caps off a great day of football.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards.
And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
From the gun, it's Taylor.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2nd and 15.
Then he'll find his target, Woods. It's complete. And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back to throw now on 1st down.
Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you in just a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
On the draw is Taylor.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they showed passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
2nd and 6. He's got his man. It's Pierce. He'll get it inside the 20.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A big play there on the catch and run. 33 yards.
This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays, and there's an example of that right there.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Taylor. And he's going to be shot back short of the goal line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet. It's a quarterback sneak. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. And his kick is good.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range.
Throw right side, complete to Williams. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
To throw is Walker. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
First down, Walker.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
This is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Walker. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
And the Colts are going to take over at their own 41.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Flushed out right. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll throw now on the final play. His throw incomplete. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. Second and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. He's going to try and do this himself. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 90 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the 3rd quarter from Detroit. A give for Taylor running right side. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
He'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Pierce. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And it'll be 4th down. So on trots the field goal unit. And wow, this is going to be a challenge here. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And the lead will hold at 10. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Walker now. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. There to stop him, Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Hey, let's go!
Right back to Swift again on second down. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now Walker. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. And lost St. Brown. 32 yards. And the Lions have got it back to within a score. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead is down to a field goal. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 96 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They go play action here on first down. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. The defense, they weren't fooled on that post route. They just couldn't make the play.
And the offense definitely tried to fool them because you saw the other route combinations, didn't you? Anything that they were running trying to draw attention away from the deep part of the field, but still had it covered, yet they were able to come up with a nice play.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Running straight ahead, Taylor. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 2nd and 5. That one finds Pierce right side. And the Colts are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
That's a good effort there after the catch. He looked the ball in and then tried to get it to the goal line. What a nice tackle to get him down. But they're set up well now. 1st and goal at the 1.
Taylor is going to take this one in for a Colts touchdown. And that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a two-score game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team is playing, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback.
At their own 21-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. That's on the tackle, Penei Sewell. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the shotgun, it's Walker. He's got a man, complete. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Detroit. Corey Davis, 85 yards. And the Lions have made it a 1-score game again here in the fourth. Blankenship out for the point after. And the lead is down to a field goal now. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And he is out of bounds here on the return.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it. Most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Play action. They'll throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions are right back in this football game.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking up one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season. And add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they had their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. A golden opportunity for them now following the interception. They need to try to at least get 3. Obviously, a touchdown puts them in a much more secure position. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
On First and 10 and Swift.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Walker. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA, with a sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
On 3rd down, here comes Swift.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And we are all tied here in the final stages. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net. But they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
And able to return this one all the way out to the other side of the field across the 50.
So much for the worry about how they would be after losing their lead. What a big-time return to seize the momentum back.
First and 10, Taylor now. Taken down on the play by Aiden Hutchinson.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw here. And he'll just get rid of it.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's going to take full charge of his hunt. Got to totally command and make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
And this pass broken up. And the contact long time there. And now 4th down.
Oh, boy, this sets up for a huge call now on 4th down because you can try the wrong field goal, you can go for it, or you can punt and play for overtime. I am so glad, partner, that I don't have to make those kind of decisions. Let's see what they decide.
And this is going to be intercepted.
It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Lions will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And the Colts are going to take over here up near the 40. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he's got some space here. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Back to Taylor on first down. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run once more with Taylor. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. On the handoff, Taylor. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. The Lions now are going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. He's hit 3 times already, and this for the win. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So they tried to ice him there, but it's fair to say it did not have the intended effect.
And I've known kickers that take it as an affront. And there he says, you think you're going to rattle me? Think again.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays.